Adventure. Adventure, intrigue, mystery, romance, starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Together in the sultry setting of tropical Havana and the mysterious islands of the Caribbean. Bold Venture. Once again, the magic names of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall bring you Bold Venture and a tale of mystery and intrigue.
Well, we've had our share of characters at Shannon's place, Senor Rufio. I remember one, a visiting school teacher from South Carolina.
Oh, you're just bitter because you flunked Sandpile on the beach with us, Slate.
I am sure this holds not the slightest interest for Senor Rufio. Please to show us to our rooms.
In a while, Senorita Magan. What I'm trying to say is a lot of people have passed through here for sleep, for fun, for whatever reasons they had to make Shannon's place a stop on the road. But as far as I know, never a reason like Senor Rufio's.
I am honest enough to admit I wish to use your accommodations to hide.
What'd you do, kid? Heist? You a hood? A gunsel? You tool a hot heap down the alley and wind up at Shannon's?
Listen. Listen. From end to key in the Bahamas, I am feared, hated. I walk in the streets and children make the mark of death on me, on my shadow.
Oh, just a stinker, huh? I thought you tooled hot heaps.
What are you running away from, Senor Rufio?
From my conscience. I'm getting old. I wish a place to hide from my sins and grieve for them.
Senor, you are weary. I will take you to your room.
All you want to do is hide from your sins, huh? Can you give me a guarantee one of your hometown citizens won't suddenly show and, well, you know, kill you, beat you to death?
A fair question, if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I gotta know these things, Senor.
Senor Rufio is a man of great wealth. He will pay well for accommodations. Please, Senor Shannon. As the nurse of him, I ask you, please.
All right. As you said, with such a medicinal pucker. Right this way, kiddies.
Johnny!
Hey, hiya, Lita. Lita, baby, how are you?
Happy to see me, Johnny?
Happy. Listen to that carousel, honey. Background music for the way I feel.
Walk with me. Away from this place. I wish to talk to you.
I can't, baby.
Give the customers a long ride, Johnny. Walk with me.
Look,
Johnny.
what you tell me to do is what I do. Did Rufio come with you?
Listen to me, Johnny.
Uh-huh.
Kill him.
What? Don't start that again, baby.
For me, Johnny. Kill him.
But kill him, man. I don't know how to kill a man.
I will show you how. The man must die. He is evil.
All right.
Johnny.
Okay. I said I'd do it. Now let's go back. It's time for the end of the long, long ride.
Guess who, Slate?
Take your hands off my eyes, Benson. I'd know you anyplace.
You're a never-ending source of delight, Slate. A girl gets girlish, does a frothy thing like putting her hands over a fella's eyes and says, guess who? She gets called a Benson.
Worried about something? What are you worried about, baby? That girl? That Senorita Magan?
Oh, I don't like the way you've been looking at her, Slate.
Forget it.
She is beautiful. Sometimes when I'm not watching you, do you look at me like that?
I said forget it.
All right. Slate, Why don't we do that sometime?
Do what sometime?
Take a horseback ride in the moonlight.
Now, whatever made you think of that?
Because it's moonlight and because I hear hoofbeats. Someone's riding, probably around that curve of beach. Why don't we do that sometime?
Yeah, why don't we, Sailor? Come on. Sailor, maybe you'd better not look at this.
What happened?
Well, it's like he said. Violent, brutal, ugly. Senor Rufio, he's dead, Sailor. Kicked to death.
Sit down, Senor Shannon. Why do you not sit down?
You give me 4 walls and a small room, and I've got to pace it off. It's a quirk with me. When are the taxpayers going to come up with a king-size office for you, LaSalle?
Oh, the requirements of an inspector of the police are modest, senor. Needs only a desk, a shaded light bulb, a phone. What more conveniences to receive the shadows of the violent dead?
And we're just the kids to bring them to you, huh, LaSalle?
Yes, you have brought me many. More than is in the priority code for the allotment of discoverers of the newly dead.
Well, what do we do about it, LaSalle? Sit here and philosophize on the aesthetic aspects of finding a man who's been killed by a horse? That's the new police method?
Come off it, Slate. You want to play super sleuth, I'll send in a box top. You'll get a badge and a compass ring. But you'll have to get your own meerschaum.
Yeah, that's right, Sailor. Laugh it up. Make a murder funny with a yak. Go on, Sailor. You're just the girl who can do it.
Please, you two. Your domestic sprats, sprat in another place. Here, there's another matter to consider.
Yeah. The murder of Senor Rufio. I'm glad it finally dawned on you, LaSalle.
The death, I will concede, by the trampling of a horse. But murder?
Because Senor Rufio told us it would come to him like that. Maybe not exactly this way, but brutal, violent, like it did.
It is known here in Havana, senorita, how Rufio deserves such dying. Because he made a jumento key, a feudal tyranny. He owned the land, the homes, the water, the power, the very people themselves. A tyranny of copper mines, of private zoos, and in some, the men were the animals.
Well, maybe he was all that. But he was murdered. That fits it square into your little niche, doesn't it, LaSalle?
The hoof prints of the horse were washed away by the surf, Senor Shannon. They could have led us to someone. Perhaps to a murderer. Perhaps only to a frightened horse who threw his rider. Who, maddened with fear, trampled, kicked until...
Oh, come on, Sailor. The man wants to call it an accident. Let him. The man's tired, so let him.
Si, senor. What the senorita said. You want to play sleuth? Send in a box top. We'll all live longer this way. Adios. And no thank you for what you have brought me.
With you in a minute, sir.
Let's get with it, sister. I'm in a hurry.
Well, maybe you've come to the wrong hotel. Shannon's place is dedicated to leisurely living for people slow with a buck.
I got the right place. Where's Slate Shannon?
What do you want him for?
You're the type that answers questions with questions, sis. Try the civil tongue. It's important. Where's Slate Shannon?
He's got a bug in his carburetor. He's fixing his boat.
Uh-huh. Now, who are you?
Some call me Benson.
Look, sis, I don't have a lot of time for quirky people. I want to tell Slate Shannon a little tale about a horse.
A horse, huh? One that tramples people to death?
Just about a horse. I run a riding stable. It's about one of my horses, one that doesn't do anything but ride people up and down the seashore. Kind of stupid horse. Who only knows one thing, how to find his way home in the dark.
Wait a minute. Be with you in a... Hey, what's the matter with you? You got a thing against phones?
I don't want you to call anybody, especially police types. You were calling a copper, huh?
Why shouldn't I? The man was murdered last night. You walk in here and tell me it was done by your horse.
That nag didn't have anything to do with it. That's why I came here. Deal. I don't want the cops coming down to my stables and asking questions. You want to listen?
The deal means I just listen and no cops. Is that it?
That's it, sis.
All right.
A man I know named Johnny Brackett runs the carousel out at the amusement park. Got a shack there, too. He likes to go horseback riding. He rented a horse from me last night.
How do you know he went riding on the beach?
The nag comes home alone. Also, there's wet sand between his hoof and his shoe. I give you all this because he had welts on his hide, who had been whipped. Tell Shannon, sis. You want to know.
Nothing like a closed-down carnival to bring on the lonely, is there, Slate?
Yeah, step up real close, lady, and I'll give you a rundown on all the good times we had here together.
Yeah. Remember when I had to break it up between you and the tattooed lady?
Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that, sailor. You promised me the good life, all the tattooing I could handle.
And I said if it was a question of having needlework done on you, you didn't have to have any. What's the matter, Slate? You taking a moment to regret?
Go home, sailor.
What's with you? The sight of a deserted carousel brings back such tender memories that... That man lying there on the carousel, he looks...
Yeah, doesn't he? I told you to go home.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, trampled like the other one. This time with a twist, under the hoof of a merry-go-round horse.
Slate, it can't be like that. It can't.
Go argue with the dead. Go ask them why they die the way they die. It's the end of the ride, sailor. Go home.
To Shannon's place come a new arrival, a man who doubt his own survival. He take a stroll on the beach for fun. His life is hammered out by a stallion. So Shannon go to amusement park, find another man with stallion's mark. Cause of death, the truth I tell, was a wooden beast on a carousel. Those unhappy times...
Please tell him to stop.